It is finally time to start speculating about the new chapter to come in Dead by Daylight. We're about a month and a half away from what the new chapter is going to be revealed to be. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some of the licensings that could possibly come into the game and what exactly would these chapters look like. Kings and queens, welcome back into the kingdom, and today we're going to be exploring all of the licensed characters that could potentially come into the game. Now, there's a lot of theories currently going around about what the new chapter could be, and you guys might already be saying, is it time for a new chapter again, considering we just received our Capcom Resident Evil chapter? But it is, in fact, time to start the new chapter hype. We recently just got the mid-chapter patch, which means we are a month and a half away from actually getting the new chapter revealed. So in today's video, we're going to explore the idea of if the next chapter is licensed, what exactly it could look like, and what are the potential frontrunners for it to come on into the game. Before we jump on into this, a few things that I want to talk about. Tomorrow, my team and I are going to be streaming for the ALS Charity stream. Please come on out. It'll be taking place at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time up until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys will be able to watch the stream, and the event will be ran all through today and tomorrow. And you guys can watch everybody. Show your support by watching. You can even donate. And for us personally, we have an auction where you guys can get yourself a fully customized landscape painting, and all of the proceeds will be going to funding the ALS Charity stream. If you guys would like to take part in that, a link will be down in the description. Hopefully we can see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, joining on in and having some fun with us. So yeah, I hope that we can see you guys there. And now we can talk a little bit about this chapter. So there are a lot of candidates that could potentially come on into the game. We're not going to focus on all of them, but we're going to take a look at some of the ones that was mentioned in Behavior Satisfaction Survey and basically explore what this would look like as a chapter. So let's go ahead and read the first concept. These are all going to be fan-made. I'll leave the links down in the description to the creators. We have a few here actually by Awesome Alan. They make some phenomenal chapters. I urge you guys to go and take a look at them. And as you can see, the first thing that we have on the list is Slenderman. Now, Polly and I made an April Fool's joke that Slenderman could come into the game, and there was already some hype about it. And, you know, a lot of people really wanted to see a chapter like this. So let's read what potentially this could mean. So, the power for Slenderman would be called face-to-face. Face-to-face. Your terror radius now sounds like static interface. When looking directly at you while inside your terror radius, a survivor's screen will fill with static noise, impairing their vision greatly until they look away. This power is always active passively, but will gain charge when a survivor looks in your direction, allowing for deadlier opportunities. Then we have a special ability. When face-to-face is fully charged, press the active ability button while looking at a hooked survivor to activate Soul Siphon. Any survivor within a 32-meter range upon activation will scream, revealing their position. Using this ability depletes face-to-face charge. The hooked survivor will now face a series of difficult skill checks for 20 seconds and will not be able to be rescued. Entity progression is paused during this time. If the survivor fails any of the skill checks, then, after the time has elapsed, the entity progression rate is increased by 10% for every failed skill check applied to their hook stage. After the time has elapsed, entity progression is reactivated and they can be rescued. If the survivor failed at least one skill check, the survivor who rescues them will gain the Oblivious status effect for 20 seconds. They also have a special attack and a special ability. The special attack is as follows. Press the active ability button when in chase to launch a deadly tendril strike that can reach long distances, such as over pallets and windows. The ability uses 25% of face-to-face's charge. And then the special ability is hold the active ability button to wrap out of reality, flickering in and out invisibility and causing your terror radius to reach the entire map, but being unable to attack. Hold the active ability button again to leave warped reality. So, pretty cool. This is a very similar power, obviously, to Nemesis. The chapter was made before Nemesis, so still cool to see. And then we have something like the Legion's pin add-on, where your heartbeat goes everywhere and you start to flicker, similar to Spirit. So it would be pretty cool and very lore friendly to what Slenderman is. We then have 3 awesome perks, so let's take a look at them. The first one is Hex Lost Children. When all generators are completed, if there is a dull totem on the map, this hex will be applied to it. When a survivor is within 4, 6, or 8 meters of the exit gate, their aura is shown to you. So that's pretty nice. You can see exactly when a survivor is running to the exit gate, and combining it with some of the meta perks that we have today and some of the new perks that are introduced could be pretty good. The next is the 8 pages. An extra dull totem will spawn in the trial. Dull totems will rebuild themselves for 120, 180 seconds after they've been cleansed. When within 16 meters of a dull totem, you received your bloodlust 45% faster, so that is pretty cool as well. The next is Something Awful. You become obsessed with one survivor. When a generator is completed or an exit gate is powered, any survivor involved will receive the Oblivious status effect for 12 seconds. Meanwhile, the obsession will receive a status effect for 75% longer. So that is a pretty cool Slenderman chapter that we could potentially see coming on into the game. And it's actually really awesome. So we can basically anticipate if we do get a Slenderman chapter, it'll be something similar to his static ability and running around and losing your sanity. And then obviously him having his tendril, similar to Nemesis. So they might need to make a spin on that power if they do bring him into the game. But we'll have to see if they ever decide to do that. Alrighty, so the next chapter that we have here is the Candyman. Obviously, Candyman has been a chapter that has been speculated so much. Polyester brought a lot of light to this, bringing all of his crazy Candyman theories, and obviously we're getting a new movie this year. They've been putting out trailers, and people have been really enjoying it, so there always is a possibility that they do bring something like this into the game. And, you know, before there was a lot of things of people saying, you know, he's too humanoid, you know, he's a human, how could you bring him in? And then obviously we receive someone like Trickster, so the possibilities are truly endless. Let's take a look and talk about the Candyman. Again, shout out to the creator. You can take a look at this actual post in the description below. So his power is Urban Legend. 7 mirrors will spawn around the map at the start of the game. One of them will always be in the basement. Candyman uses them as observation tools to see the location of survivors and as portals to travel around the map. Pressing the power button will teleport Candyman to the mirror world, where he will have the point of view of the mirrors around the map. He can switch from mirror to watch different survivors of the map, then he can teleport back to the map using the mirror he chooses. When Candyman is inside the mirror world, he will be undetectable. Urban Legend has a cooldown of 20 seconds. Survivors can destroy the mirrors, performing an animation that will take them 10 seconds. The broken mirrors can't be used by Candyman, they'll regenerate automatically for 50 seconds. So that's a pretty interesting concept. It's very similar to the Demogorgon's portals, except you'll actually be able to see in different spots of the maps. So it's kind of like Killer Instinct, but you actually can see where survivors are, and it's pretty cool. The next one is the special ability, I should say, Swarm of Bees. The Candyman can stalk survivors when he's inside the mirror world. Stalking survivors will slowly charge up Swarm of Bees. When the ability is 100% charged, and if Candyman is outside the mirror world, he can press the active ability button to liberate an enormous swarm of bees in a 15-meter radius. Any survivor inside the swarm of bees will be affected by the Deep Wound status effect, and their auras will be revealed to the Candyman. The swarm of bees will last for about 40 seconds. So pretty much he sounds pretty decent. He has 2 different abilities that allows him to, you know, traverse the map and to keep the map pressure up. And then he has Swarm of Bees, which will help him in chases. So far it's sounding pretty good. Let's take a look at his 3 teachable perks. The first one is Innocent Blood. You can kick gens and destroy pallets while carrying a survivor. Every pallet or gen that you kick while carrying a survivor reduces 20, 25, 30% of the survivor's wiggle progress. I love this perk. This is actually really awesome, and I'm surprised they actually haven't brought something like this into the game. Maybe when Jason one day comes on in, they would bring something, but obviously, as I said, with all the licensing stuff going on and lawsuits, it might be very difficult. The next one is Rumor. Damaging a generator causes the gen to emit a terror radius for 25 meters, that all survivors will hear for 20 seconds. Rumor can be triggered once every 40 seconds. So this is pretty cool. It's kind of like the opposite of Dark Devotion, or not Dark Devotion, I'm sorry, Trail of Torment, where you can kick a generator and lose your heartbeat, except for this one, the heartbeat is actually stuck onto the generator, similar to Dark Devotion as well, where you hit your obsession and they get your heartbeat. So very interesting. The final one is Hex Be My Victim. The speed boost that survivors get after the hit by the killer, putting them into the injured state, is reduced by 100%. The movement speed of anyone in the dying state is reduced by 30%. The Hex activates when 5, 4, 3 gens are completed. So basically, if you're running something like Save the Best for Last, you'll have absolutely no speed boost, and the killer could pretty much instantly two-swipe you if that Hex is up. Would be very, very strong, and pretty good chapter all around. Very excited to see one day if any of these perks are in the game, because they are amazing, and of course Candyman himself, a job well done. Make sure you do go and take a look at this post as well. Next on the list, we have another chapter by Awesome Alan. I told you he made a bunch of amazing chapters that you guys can go ahead and take a look. I'll actually get rid of my webcam here so you guys can see and see the entire chapter in its full glory before we talk about it. And now let's go ahead and take a look. We'll read from left to right. So it says, Alien Isolation. When there is one generator remaining, Alien Ambush is replaced with Alien Isolation. It says, your natural talent for hunting and the need to keep prey alive allows you many unique and deadly situations. Alien Ambush. Press the power button when near a generator to plant an overmorph egg. I probably butchered that. You are limited to 1 egg for every 2 generators needed for the exit gates. When a survivor begins working on the generator, the egg will hatch, causing one facehugger to leap out and attach itself to a nearby survivor, destroying the egg in the process. When a facehugger attaches itself to a survivor, they will be put into the dying state for 10 seconds, then fully recovered to their previous state. They cannot be interacted with. Upon recovery, a countdown will begin, and over time they will experience stacking status effects. Stage 1 is, healing is decreased and the survivor noises are increased by 25. Stage 2 is the same but at 50%. Stage 3 is that the survivor will cough and their aura is shown for 15 seconds. And stage 4 is that the survivor is put into the dying state and the bleed out rate is increased by 75%. If a survivor bleeds out while a host, a chest burster, erupts and sacrifices them instantly, while also attacking one healthy survivor within 8 meters, removing a health state. Survivors can perform the remove parasite action on one another, performing in a series of great skill checks to potentially remove the chest burster inside, with a success rate of 100% that lowers by 20% as each stage progresses. This action can be repeated until successful. When there is 1 generator remaining, Alien Ambush is replaced with Alien Isolation. Press the power button when near an exit gate to plant an egg, limited to 1 egg at a time. This also has the special ability of Hide, or you will have the special ability to hide. Press the active ability button to hide on a tree, wall, or ceiling, granting the undetectable status effect and showing the auras of survivors within 32 meters. You also have another special ability of Haunting Grounds. Hold the active ability button while hidden to leap from a location, attacking a survivor with your tail. So pretty interesting power. You have a bunch of things going on here, and I actually really like it. It's so unique and so interactive, and something like we've never seen before, similar to Nemesis's zombies, but you also have so much more that you can do, such as jumping onto walls and leaping onto survivors. So let's go and take a look at some of these perks. The first one is Perfect Host. When a survivor is hooked, all survivors outside your terror radius gain the Oblivious status effect for 30 seconds. If all generators are completed, all survivors remaining gain an extra hook stage but cannot vault for the rest of their trial. So that is a crazy perk. The next perk on the list, Necrom 4. I probably butchered that as well. The height and thickness of the fog increases every survivor by 8% every time a generator is completed. You are no longer affected by the fog, so that's pretty interesting. We used to have the add-ons that or offerings that, you know, made the mist super duper thick. Now we only have slightly and moderately, I believe, but before it used to be pretty crazy, so making it into a perk would be kind of interesting. Hex Prometheus. All survivors have 1, 2, 3 perks shuffled between them at the start of the trial, and any duplicate perks are voided and considered to be an empty perk slot. The swap persists until the totem is destroyed, but the survivor who cleanses the totem will lose all of their perks. That is crazy. We never actually had a perk that removes perks. I don't know how well that would go over on, you know, the survivor side and how they would feel, but we're not here to talk about balancing. All in all, A well chapter done by Awesome Allen as always in their Alien chapter. And make sure, again, you guys go and show some support to this. But my friends, that is all of the chapters that we have for you guys today. Let me know if you did enjoy it and if you would like to see more of these chapters coming on in. I have a bunch of cool concepts that I can continue to read to you guys, and we can even bring in some concepts that you guys have made and maybe you guys want featured on the videos. These are 3 chapters that Dead by Daylight have talked about bringing into their game in the satisfaction survey, so there's a good possibility that some of these chapters could come on in, and there is a lot more of things that they spoke about that we can take a look. Obviously, some of them are going to be more difficult to come into the game, such as Jason with his lawsuit, FNAF with all the controversies that are currently going around, and It because, it's just such a hard chapter to get, and we possibly will never see Pennywise in the game, but there's always hope, and you never know what the future holds. If the next chapter is indeed licensed, we're more than likely to see a chapter that was on that satisfaction survey, so it's cool to take a look at these concepts, and let me know what you guys want to see next in the following videos. Remember that we are also streaming tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 4 with our team in support for ALS and the Puppers live stream. So make sure you guys come on out, show some support, and take a look at the auction that is currently going on. You can bid on your own original painting that I will paint for you guys, and all of the proceeds will be going to charity. So please, please, please show some support to that. But my friends, that is going to wrap it up for this video. We're going to continue posting a bunch of videos for you guys, and I hope you guys really did enjoy. As always, I'm the King. I did my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.